Tulsa's 24-hour news source continues.
Good evening, I'm Karen Keith.
And I'm Jerry Weber. We're here with the latest results on Decision 90. The polls across the state have been closed now for about an hour and a half, and the results are beginning to be counted.
Now, of course, the race most Oklahomans are keeping a close eye on is the race for the party nominations for governor. And here are the latest figures on the Democratic side with 2% of the precincts reporting. Steve Lewis with 43%, Wes Watkins 27%, David Walters 25%, Shorty Barnett 3%, and Ann Langston 2%.
And over on the Republican side, Vince Orza is leading with 43% of the votes tallied so far. This is with 2% having been counted. Wes Watkins 25%, David Walters 25%, Shorty Barnett 3%, and Ann Langston 2%. We would caution you with the computer and those being counted, there is no telling where those votes are from, so don't draw any conclusions from them.
Now, another heated battle closer to home is the fight for the Democratic nomination for Congress in District 2. That race pits incumbent Mike Siner against Jack Ross in a campaign marked by negative ads. The early returns in that race show Mike Siner leading with 67% of the vote, followed by Jack Ross with 33% of the vote.
Election officials statewide had originally predicted 700,000 voters today to go to the polls. Here in Tulsa County, about 100,000 people were expected to cast their votes. But during the afternoon heat, things slowed down for a while at some of the precincts. Election officials say that could be due to today's soaring temperatures.
Now, what the heat does to us, we don't know. But it could keep people from voting. And we are concerned about that, but not a thing we can do about it.
Early predictions are that about 75,000 Tulsans showed up to vote today, but we really won't know until everything is counted. And we will tell you again, we caution you that these early returns could be from either side of the state. Remember, Tulsa and Oklahoma City are going to vote differently because of House Bill 1017 and this and that, so it's going to be an interesting evening.
And we'll keep you abreast of the changes coming in from the polls throughout the evening.
See you again at 9.
Reporting.
On the Corporation Commission race, the Democratic primary, the incumbent is still leading, and that is by a small margin, 876 votes. And James Townsend, the incumbent, is leading George Scott, 733 votes.
Now in the U.S. Senate race, David Boren continues to pile up the votes with over 6,000 votes, with only 30 precincts reporting in out of 2,359. Virginia Jenner with 739 votes, and Manuel Ibarra, who didn't raise much money, didn't put a whole lot of effort into that campaign, 429 votes.
Now we'd like to look at the U.S. House seat District 1. We have 4 candidates from Tulsa, overwhelmingly it looks like by Kurt Glasgow out of Tulsa, 2,943 votes. Next it would be Emily Warner with 935, followed by Helen Guthrie and Robert Jackman, all of those candidates in Tulsa. District 2 we should be seeing shortly, and that is a hotly contested race in Tulsa between Mike Siner and Jack Ross. We'll wait and see if we can get those numbers.
Okay, obviously we're having a problem with that. We did not see the Republican race for Congress District 1 and the other 2 congressional races that are being contested tonight. But we will go now to William Markey, who a few moments ago visited with Republican gubernatorial candidate Jerry Brown. William?
Markey with you out on I-35 at Jerry Brown's Rest Stop restaurant for various truckers that come through. We're at his campaign watch party right now with Clark Curry, his campaign manager of this last campaign season. You also had a part in his 1986 run, is that right?
Yes, I helped him in '86 also.
Give us a little idea of what may be different. I know he is in Tulsa right now, celebrating up there. What's different this time around for him?
Well, in 1986, he chose to run about July, and of course he ran as an independent. He ran then to give the people of Oklahoma a choice. So you're talking about three months, basically. Now, this time around, he announced a little over a year ago, so we've been able to meet many more people. We always felt Mr. Brown is the best campaigner one-on-one, and we know, he has a tremendous heart for the people of Oklahoma, and he wants to serve, and by meeting enough people one-on-one, we think that we're looking for good numbers tonight.
He's had a lot of time to do that. Has he concentrated his campaign in any particular area of the state or with any particular group or groups?
No, he hasn't. Matter of fact, one evening he went to far western Oklahoma to speak to a graduating class of 15 in Keys, Oklahoma. As I say, he has a hard time turning people down, so he's been all over the state of Oklahoma.
How's he feeling right now as far as he's gone through it before, so it's not a new experience for him, but it certainly must be very exciting.
It is, but as far as endurance, I've never seen a man do so much with so little rest with no complaints. He's just a fantastic campaigner.
You of all people should know about the polling that's been going on the last few months. It's been going on so long, you know, and there are so many candidates out there that there's really no clear front runner has emerged from time to time. He's not been listed as a front runner very often, but he's been very vocal, very aggressive, very visible in his campaign. Do you think that's going to help him? What about it has kept him apart from all of the others and kept him up there among the front runners?
Okay, well, first of all, he wasn't considered a front runner primarily because the press many times ignored him. And also, when you're not in the press and being ignored, what we're doing is campaigning one-on-one. And of course, we believe that a lot of the polling as far as the undecideds, who knows what will happen tonight? We don't think anyone knows because due to the number of undecideds. But also, we believe that a lot of our support will not show up in the regular polling or the polls that they normally call regular voters. We think we'll have a lot of support that'll show up after the vote tonight.
Is he prepared to go on, take this campaign on? And if not, if it's not his time to be governor this time, is he prepared? Is he looking far enough ahead? Is this going to be something he's going to try again? Obviously, he believes there's a place in Oklahoma politics for Jerry Brown. What's he looking ahead to?
I don't know. He does, of course, have a heart for the state. He wants less government, lower taxes in the state, better education for the state. However, I really can't answer for Mr. Brown on what his future may hold. But we believe that it'll be the runoff on September 18th.
Well, we thank you for speaking for him in his absence. He will be here later on this evening, is that correct? Clark Curry, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
We'll be back later.
All right, thanks, William, from the Jerry Brown headquarters. Now let's check again the congressional races, and a reminder that we do not have a Republican race for District 1 because Jim Inhofe, the Republican incumbent, is unopposed. And now we go to District 2. 5 precincts out of 466 reporting. The incumbent, Democrat Mike Sinar from Muskogee with 306, and Jack Ross, the Coweta attorney, 153 votes. District 2, the Republican race, Terry Gorham, the leader, with 50 votes, Marshall Ferrier with 38, and William Vardaman, 17. That has changed very little in the last few minutes, 17 precincts reporting. To District 3, 6 precincts reporting, very close, very close. Bill Brewster, the leader, by just a few votes, 294 votes for Brewster. Robert S. Kerr III, 272 votes. This was expected to be a two-man horse race, and apparently it indeed will be. In the Republican race for District 3 congressional seat, Miller, the leader, Miller leading Hudkins 92 to 85. Patrick Miller with a very slight lead.
Dick, we have new governor numbers, 11 candidates in the field, 5 in the Democratic primary, 5 in the Republican primary. Taking a look at the Democratic side in the governor's statewide race, we have Steve Lewis leading 9,513 votes. Second would be David Walters. This is with 141 precincts reporting, 7,612. And then Wes Watkins out of Ada is at 5,266. Shorty Barnett and Ann Harton Langston bringing up the rear. Let's look at the Republican side. Vince Orsa maintains his lead with 8,598 votes. We have here Jerry Brown, 9,271 votes. And maybe the producers could tell me if that's correct. 9,271 with Bill Price third, over 6,000 votes. Burns Hargis fourth, 4,339 votes. Jerry Hoyt fifth, 263 votes. This is with 141 precincts reporting very early. There are over 2,300 precincts statewide.
Very small percentage of the vote in right now. And let's go back to Catherine Bennett and more on the House of Representatives races.
That's right. We have more results in, and in fact, a few more races that we can call because there aren't going to be generals. In fact, some of these people have been reelected. But first, let's look at the Republican State Representative District 84 race. 11 of 17 precincts reporting. Representative Bill Graves, the incumbent there, of course, ahead by a very wide margin. I think we can say
I
that.
think we can call that
Yeah,
one.
we can call that one.
He does have a general, though.
Yes, 1,402, Hamill 148, and Freeman 456. State Representative District 85 Republican primary, 17 of 19 precincts. Fallon 2,133 and Pruitt 1,684.
That's a seat left vacant by Mike Hunter.
Mike Hunter is managing Burns Hargis'
Right.
campaign, of course.
Right.
Okay, and let's go ahead and see if we can look at the next. State Representative District 90, the Republican primary, 19 of 19 precincts. And incumbent Key, 865 votes, Gifford 359.
Real low vote turnout there, but Charles won, and he does not have a general election, so welcome back, Charles.
Okay, and is there anything we can say about 1017? We talked about that earlier. Any way we can tell what effect that's had so far this evening?
I don't think there's a pattern or anything yet, Catherine, but we have a couple races that might. Rick Williamson, we talked about it a little bit ago in District 76, is in a runoff, and he was a yes vote on 1017. Whether that had anything to do with it or not, I don't know. And then and there was another one, Jim Isaac. We haven't seen results on, I haven't given results yet, but we've got things here showing that all of the precincts are in, and he has won very handily by about 1,600 votes. He was a no vote both ways. So some people said that helped him in his district to be a no vote both ways because he won real big. Something helped him.
Okay, and we'll be giving you more results throughout the evening. Thank you, Mary. Dick?
Governor Bellman has been gracious enough to be with us for the first hour of our coverage, and I see your list. You're going several places tonight, Governor. But give us your thoughts right now on how the race is going so far.
In all candor, it's just too soon to know.
It's just too soon.
Those last numbers are shocking if true.
We had Brown being second.
Yeah.
That's correct. Do you think this race will be decided early evening as far as if Orza maintains his lead?
I'd be surprised if it's decided early. I think you're in for a long evening.
Hang on just a second. We're updating governor numbers right now, and we'd like to have one more thought on your part, if we could, before you leave on the latest numbers. On the Democratic side, Lewis, and then Walters, and then Watkins. Let's take a look at the Republican side so we can get the governor's reaction to those. This is a Republican primary for the governor. We'll give it a second or two. Here we go. Now, these numbers